In today's Leeds news, Hjelde exit, new Leeds away kit details, Gnonto's New Deal, and today's transfer roundup. Hiya folks, Jay here. Wednesday the 31st of January. We're into squeaky bum time. We've got today and up till 11 o'clock tomorrow night for Leeds to get some deals done. It's looking increasingly difficult for Leeds to do a lot of work. They might end up with one or two if they do it all. We'll go through some details. We won't hang around today. We'll get in and get out. Just to start off with some information on Leo Hjelde. Leo Hjelde has completed his exit from Leeds United to Sunderland. The player has signed a deal with Sunderland that's reported to be in between £2 and £2.3 million, which is a good return on Leeds' initial spend and very good from a financial fair play perspective, as a lot of the payments that Leeds would have made to Celtic are done and dusted by this stage. He signed a contract at Sunderland until June 2028. Hjelde has stated that he was frustrated with his time at Leeds towards the end, having not played a huge amount of games, and described this as an opportunity that he couldn't turn down after discussing it with his father. Hjelde did start the opening two games of the season for Leeds, so he did get an opportunity to start for Leeds and was withdrawn in the second half or half time in the 2-2 draw with Cardiff, which was the last time he would appear in a championship matchday squad for Leeds. He hasn't been seen in the squad since September. He hasn't been around Daniel Farke's squad at all in that period of time. Farke opting for two goalkeepers on the bench for the last game instead of using Leo Hjelde. Has been predominantly playing in the 21s this year. A lot of people saying that he's not playing in his best position, that he should be playing centre-back. One of the Leeds coaches, or former Leeds coaches that had worked with him, had said that he just doesn't have the physical presence just yet to be a centre-back. He's not ready for a centre-back position yet, and that's why he's out at left-back. If you listen to the interview that we did on this channel with Michael Scubala a while ago, he said a lot of young players, when they break into teams, won't play in their natural position. They'll fill a hole somewhere else, and that's actually part of the development as well. So there are some lineups there that match up. So that's that. Moving on to some non-Leeds United transfer detail, and some information came out yesterday from Football Headlines, who tend to be the go-to source for leaked kits or new kits for the new season. And according to Football Headlines, they say that Leeds 24-25 kit will be what they call an EQT yellow palette colour from Adidas. The Adidas deal was due to finish up at the end of this season. It looks like there might be an extension there. It's not fully clear just yet. There's no details on the full look of the kit, but you can see on screen now what the EQT yellow would look like. This is from Adidas's website. Same colour. It has black in it as well, so that black won't be what Leeds will use. It'll be more than likely a blue changed to, or a white as well. So I wouldn't judge this kit as being what it will actually look like. That's just the yellow that they're saying. It's nice to see Leeds back with the yellow kit as well. I'm a fan, as long as it's a nice yellow kit and not like the tie-dye we had last year. A load of people fell for this dodgy tie-dye look that was going around Twitter yesterday, which was very clearly the one that we had 2 years ago with loads of other tie-dye colours added to it with the SPO top on it. Can't believe what people fall for. It's mad. But anyway, yeah, so that's nice to see a new Leeds kit coming out next season and will be yellow. Fingers crossed if we get some updates on that, I will share them with you. Moving on to Willy Gnonto, and a new deal for Gnonto has been rumoured for quite a while now. And according to Fabrizio Romano, who has been saying Gnonto was going, he's now double backwards, and he's saying that Gnonto will sign a new deal for Leeds anytime between the next couple of hours and the next few days will be done and dusted. And he has described Gnonto's new deal as a priority for Leeds. It's unusual that it's described as a priority, considering Willy Gnonto currently has a contract that leads until 2027 and there's no release clause in that contract either. So why that's a priority in this window when there's other places and positions Leeds need to get quality in remains to be seen. Anyway, we'll move on from this. We'll move into the transfer stuff, and we'll do the usual rattle around what's going around in terms of being linked with Leeds or updates on players. And we'll start off with Godfrey and the situation around him. Everton are said that they will only allow the player to leave should they be able to get a replacement in, which is interesting because this could also affect and impact Leicester. Maresca, the Leicester manager, said yesterday about Kieran Dewsbury Hall that Leicester will have to sell players to bring anybody else in at this point, which is interesting because it's apparently Everton are said to be interested in Leicester defender Harry Souttar. Souttar joined them 12 months ago and has been decent this season in the Championship, but Everton are said to be very interested in bringing the player in. Should they bring in Souttar, that could make Godfrey available, which would obviously make Leicester slightly weaker and Leeds slightly stronger. Godfrey did did start last night for Everton and played 90 minutes in their game in the Premier League last night. However, he did come in for quite a lot of criticism if you look at the Everton hashtags from the game. And the word liability was used at several points. He kept a clean sheet though against Fulham, who've been scoring goals this year. So you don't know how much of that is legacy stuff with a player, and maybe not their preferred player starting. But yeah, he did manage to get a clean sheet last night and did play 90 minutes and get a shot on target as well. The other piece with this as well is Tutto Mercato in Spain are reporting that Atletico Madrid are interested in bringing Godfrey in as well, which is a surprise and a bolt out of the blue, that one. And also says that Leeds are still negotiating with Everton for a deal for the player. Everton does look like, again, according to Sean Dyche yesterday, it does look like Everton will have to sell some players if they want to do any kind of business. He's not expecting to do anything at this point, and he's admitted that the finances are quite tight at the club. Moving on then and talking about Joe Worrall. This one popped up yesterday. According to Alan Nixon, Leeds are said to be interested in the Nottingham Forest defender. Worrall is rated at about £6 million. Sheffield United are also said to be interested in the player, so chances are he's off to Sheffield United. However, he is out of favour at Nottingham Forest after having a bit of a butting of heads with Steve Cooper, and hasn't come back into the fold under Nuno Espirito Santo either. So Joe Worrall could be available. Joe Worrall's an interesting one because the automatic assumption with this is if Leeds buy Joe Worrall, then Charlie Creswell is definitely leaving. However, yesterday Liam Cooper was linked with a move to Blackburn Rovers. Now what Leeds have said on the Liam Cooper situation is that Leeds are not selling any more players from the main match group or the main squad, unless Leeds bring in Worrall and then maybe Cooper goes to Blackburn. But Leeds to stump up £6 million in this window is unlikely. Again, Leeds looking at the loan market more so than the permanent market. But things can happen and things can change. The other two main ones to talk about are the Burnley pair of Connor Roberts and Manuel Benson. It appears now like any kind of a move for Manuel Benson is off for any club. According to Vincent Kompany, he said he spoke to a player. Player wants to stay and he wants him to stay. Kompany also said that he doesn't want anybody to leave. Connor Roberts was brought up then as well as an option, looking at possible clubs linked with him. And he said in an ideal world, he doesn't want any players to leave, but he does understand that fringe players will want minutes and will want to play and test themselves, and he can't hold on to everybody. However, he does want both players to stay put. On Charlie Taylor's situation, it's the same. He's out of contract in the summer, but the manager would like the player to stay put if he could have that as well. There's a lot to be done in 2 days. It's incredibly quiet, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because the 49ers have worked in relative silence throughout the last, 6-8 months that they've been here as the primary owner. So you could get two signings coming out of nowhere. I would be really disappointed if Leeds let it go without bringing anybody in. I think the squad is slightly weaker. I don't think Daniel Farke trusts everybody that's on his bench, considering he uses the same players all the time on a regular basis. So what's the point of having the rest of them around? If they're not going to play, then let them go out on loan or sell them and bring in players that you will play and do trust and give you more options from the bench. And Leeds do still need them. Leeds need a right back. Leeds need a right back and Leeds need a left back. Let's be honest about it. Sam Byram and Junior Firpo will pick up knocks and injuries this season. Firpo's been excellent, but you can't rely on them at the moment until we get a larger data set of games under his belt to know what he's going to be able to do. The number 10 position said yesterday, Gio Rutter has probably sorted that one out a little bit for Leeds, but you could do it a second option there. Ian Poveda came out the weekend in the wing. I thought he played quite well as well, but I like Poveda. But he's not getting a huge amount of minutes in his natural position, which is 10 as well. There's a lot of that to be said, isn't there? But players not playing in their natural positions. Joffrey Gelhart's way down the pecking order as well. Matteo Joseph coming on ahead of him, and Poveda coming on ahead of him in the 9 and 10 positions at the weekend as well. So interesting to see what happens there. Daniel Farke's press conference is today. I'm not covering it on this, but we'll I'm sure he'll be asked about stuff, and I'm sure we'll get very little information from that because he doesn't give a whole lot away in his press conferences. But that's going to be it for me today, folks. Massive thanks as always for sticking with me and watching the show, and I will be back tomorrow morning with more Leeds news. If anything major happens today, I will come on tonight with a live stream, but I've been saying that for the last 2 weeks and nothing's happening, so we'll wait and see. But if we do sign somebody, expect to see me later on. If I don't, I'll see you in the morning. Have a great day. Bye.